What is up, Mom Nation? Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Energy Shift with Erin. I am your go to for all things health, wellness, hormones, body composition, energy, sleep, all the support you need to thrive in your life. And I want to apologize. I'm a little bit late today. We are back at our house in Mexico. So, for those that don't know, we live half of the year in northern Arizona near the Grand Canyon in this little town called Williams, close to Flagstaff. And then the other half of the year in Sonora, Puerto Penasco, or Rocky Point, Mexico. So we're here now for the winter. We just got here on Saturday and we're doing all the catch up. It's hard to go from high altitude to sea level, so my body's kind of adjusting. And we had to get all the groceries in the house and unpack and get the dogs back settled and all of those fun things. And today we went over and finalized our immigration paperwork, so we are here as temporary residents as opposed to tourists. And so that took up a large part of my morning, but I am here and I want to chat about healthy meal planning today. And this can go for any goal. If you want to lose body fat, if you want to improve energy levels, you want your kids to eat better, you want yourself to eat better, you want to feel better overall. It doesn't have to go with any one thing in particular, but this is going to help you kind of shift your narrative and your ideas about how to start preparing healthy meals that don't feel overwhelming. I am not a Pinterest food girly. I go for fast, I go for effective, and I go for delicious. And so that's what I'm going to go over with you all so you can start to navigate some healthy meals and get the nutrients that you need to thrive. So the first thing that you need to know is macros. So our food is built from 3 different macronutrients and a ton of different micronutrients. So we want to make sure that our meals have a little bit of each of those things in it. And this is where it can feel confusing and overwhelming. And if you need help, you need further support, I do have a grocery list that goes along with this. But we want to pick one thing from each category. And the macros are macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. And then the micronutrients are going to be things like fiber, vitamins and minerals. So like vitamin C, magnesium, selenium, all of those things that our body needs to support a healthy metabolism, healthy gut, healthy liver, healthy energy levels, healthy circadian rhythm for you to sleep better, all of those things. So first, when we are building healthy meals, we want to choose a protein source. And when you go to the grocery store, I want you to focus in on 2 to 3 protein sources that you can cook throughout the week or cook in a bulk. And that's what we do. We do meal or bulk prep, not necessarily meal prep. You may see meal prep where people have individual meals for themselves, maybe to take to work for breakfast and lunch, sometimes dinner, but that gets a little tricky, with families and such. So we go with bulk prep. So what that looks like for us is my husband will get a big thing of beef. We usually do a lean beef when we're in Mexico, and chicken, because those are easy to find, like a carne asada type steak. We will do the same thing in the States, but often we go for a leaner meat there. So we'll do like sometimes steak, sometimes ground turkey. And then we alternate with fish in between there. We like salmon. It's harder to find here. But you obviously can find fresh fish here. So we go to the fish market once a week and get either red snapper or flounder and some shrimp, whatever they have. But you can kind of rotate those in. I don't like cooked fish. Like, I want it cooked when the night I'm going to eat it or the day that I'm going to eat it. So it's not something that I prefer to meal prep, but that's on you. But I can do it with chicken and beef relatively easily. And those are usually a go-to staple for a lot of us. Most people that eat meat like those two. So you can use mine, you can use your own. Ground meats are obviously a lot easier to cook. You could just throw them in a big pan with some seasoning and you're good to go. I'll let that be up to you. But that's what we do is we're going to start with protein. Most of us are under consuming protein. The reason why you want it is it's going to help with muscle mass maintenance, so sustainability of muscle, meaning that you're going to have more energy, you're going to have happier hormones, you're going to feel full longer, and you're going to be giving your body the metabolic support that it needs with that protein source. So pick 2 to 3 different protein sources. Like I said, mine are chicken and beef at the moment. Carne asada, a lean steak. You want a leaner cut, so you could also do like a sirloin or a filet once a week. Sometimes we'll do that. They're expensive, so we'll do those on like special occasions as opposed to the meat that we cook for most of our meals. Okay, so we have our protein sources, and you can choose whether you prefer to cook them on the spot or you prefer to cook them ahead of time. I'm always going to lean into preparation. That lowers stressors, it lowers decision fatigue, and it helps you to accommodate a lifestyle that doesn't feel so overwhelming. One of the biggest things that I hear in the industry is, I don't know what to eat. And most of that is overcomplicating meals, and I'm going to teach you how to simplify it and make it super easy. So we have our protein sources, right? We're good to go there. We cook enough to keep in the fridge and usually lasts us for the entire week, and then we repeat the process again on the weekend. So we have that set. This makes life so much easier because you can my brain stopped functioning there for a second. You can start to think of all of the things that you can make with those pre-made proteins. And if you get busy, life gets hectic, you have a late sports night, whatever, you have proteins in the fridge. And even if you just like literally for lunch, I just had a chicken breast and half of an avocado. So simple. It doesn't have to be this like elaborate meal. Are you potentially going to have to make something a little bit more exciting or different for the kids? Sure. But for ourselves, we can keep it super simple, not overthink it, reduce our stress, reduce our anxiety, reduce that food noise, all of the things that we have going on by just keeping meals simple. And then we also are going to have in the house always cottage cheese, high protein Greek yogurt, a ton of fruits and vegetables, potatoes and yams, rice, and some sort of beans. We'll do beans, black beans or pinto beans. That's going to help with your fiber goal. That's also going to help with digestion. That's going to help with bowel movements, keeping things regular, all those good things, and shift down inflammation, any inflammation you have going on. So that's another thing that we'll do. We have our protein. We cook beans once a week so that we can make like taco bowls. So you can essentially do a mock Chipotle type situation. And in my opinion, a lot more delicious. And this is super easy for the family too, because you can have everybody make their own bowl. If they don't like bell peppers, you add those to yours. If they don't like salsa, you add that to yours. They can start to create their own meals. The family, even picky eaters, everybody likes a taco bowl. So when we start to put these things together and we have them ready to go, let's say, it's Wednesday night, you just got back from sports practice, you got your beef, your chicken, you heat up a little bit of each, you got your black beans, you cut up some veggies and some avocado, maybe a little Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt, by the way, plain Greek yogurt tastes just like sour cream. You won't know the difference. You're getting less fat and more protein. So a lot more bang for your buck there. So we're prepping protein. And we're prepping some sort of high fiber source of, you can also do a grain or like rice or quinoa or potatoes if you want to do that. I am somebody who prefers to do potatoes like in the moment too, because I like them to be crunchy. So I don't often pre-cook potatoes, but you obviously can do that as well. But the beans or rice make it super easy, or you can do a little bit of both because they stay really good in the fridge. So while you have your meat on the grill, you can start to boil some rice in the rice cooker, or just in the States, we get the just 5-minute boxed rice and have it ready to go. We'll cook a whole big thing of it for the whole week. Same thing with beans. And again, this makes it so easy. You can make tacos, you can make burritos, you can make enchilada casserole, you can make all kinds of things. And I know a lot of the things I say are like Mexican style dishes, but you could also do stir fries with it. It doesn't have to necessarily be that. So you have rice, you can get stir fry veggies, a little bit of soy sauce, and the meat's already cooked, the rice is already cooked. So all you got to do is throw it in a pan and you're good to go. This is like cooking 101. I am so simple with this. And I think we want to continue to overthink our food choices, especially if we're not super into cooking or we're not super good at cooking. It's only pseudo cooking. Another trick that I used to do with my protein is crock pot. Chicken in the crock pot is so good. So just a ton of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I usually get that like really big pack. 1 packet of taco seasoning, 1 packet of green chili if you like green chili, water, and then salt and pepper to taste. You just cook it on low for roughly 6 to 8 hours until it's fork tender. So you could put it in the crock pot before you go to work. When you get home, you have chicken, you're good to go. That is another way to do it if you don't want to grill or if it's too hot to grill. My husband will usually do it in the evenings when it's a little bit toasty, so that cools it off. But our weather is starting to cooperate with us. So we've got our carb source, the beans and the rice. We've got our protein source, the chicken and the beef. You can do fresh veggies, you can do salsa, you can do a bag of veggies. That's what I would do for a stir fry. Like get the snap peas, the broccoli, carrots, and usually cauliflower in there. Make it super easy on yourself. We don't have to be dicing up a bunch of vegetables. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. We just want to have something from each category. So we're on protein, we have carbs, we have vegetables, we have fruit. That's another thing that we'll do is like for breakfast this morning, I did 1 thing of high protein Greek yogurt, some chia seeds, some raspberries and blueberries, good to go. I had 20 grams of protein, a bunch of fiber, a little bit of fat with the chia seeds, all healthy. And I prepared it in 2 minutes. So all of these things can be done with the prep in 5 or 10 minutes. So this sets you up for success during the week, and you don't have to feel bad about running through drive-thrus because food is ready to go. You don't have to panic and wonder what the kids are going to eat, even if it's something just as simple as what I had for lunch today. Okay. So we want to have a protein, a carb, a fruit or vegetable or fiber with every meal, and then a fat. Well, fats can be either that, like if you're roasting or sauteing vegetables, the oil that you use, easy, good to go. Or you could do a little avocado, you could do a little bit of cheese, you could do, like if you're doing Asian, a little bit of sesame oil or sesame seeds, you could do some sliced almonds, you could do, let's see, what else is a good fat source? There's a lot. If you're a sweet tooth person, dark chocolate has a little bit of good healthy fats in it. So for creating our meals, we want to remember to have protein, a carb source, a fiber source, fruit or vegetable, and a little bit of a fat source. By doing that, we are regulating blood sugar. We are promoting metabolic health. We're promoting hormonal health. You're going to stay full longer without cravings in between. And it doesn't have to be this whole big thing that we're overthinking. It can be super simple. Like I said this morning, Greek yogurt, chia seeds that I have a packet in the fridge. I just sprinkle them on, and then berries. So I don't even have to cut up fruit. Usually our breakfasts are a little bit more elaborate. We both work from home, so we have that opportunity to cook a breakfast. But this morning we were headed out the door and needed to eat something quickly. And I always want to make sure I'm getting at least 20 grams of protein per meal, 20 to 30 grams of protein. That is going to move mountains for you. If you do nothing else and you get nothing else from this, to start to shift to 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, and you're going to be amazed at how good you feel. You may see some shifts down in body composition on the scale if that's something that you're going for, but you're definitely going to improve your energy levels. You're going to feel better overall, and we can do this in a very simple capacity. So we have breakfast covered. We have lunch covered. We could do a taco bowl. We could do a salad. That's another thing that you could do with that. You could make sandwiches. There's a lot of things there. We have been making our own bread. I know that sounds insane, but it's been really fun. We just got a bread maker. All of these things, like once you start doing this, once you start getting into this, it's going to expand for you and to where you are really excited about trying out new stuff. I never thought I was going to be the bread making girly. I was a restaurant queen. I barely cooked anything ever. And now, since 2019, I have evolved into kind of a hippie, but it's okay. I'm making my own food. I'm making my own bread. And I am helping other families and women understand how much better I feel and how much better you can feel by just making these simple tweaks. And our husbands like to grill, so this may be like a good opportunity to ask your husband for some help and support. Get the grill going on the weekends, buy the meat, marinate the meat, and have him cook it. While he's cooking the meat, you prepare the beans and the rice and the potatoes or whatever else you want to do. If you want to pre-cook veggies, you can also do that. Or you can just pre-slice up veggies. I prefer something super easy. We usually do zucchini in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, game changer for vegetables. It's like all you gotta do is cook them up, a little tiny bit of oil, roast them or air fry them, and you are good to go. So when we're creating meals, we're picking one protein, one carb, one fruit or vegetable, or you could do a fruit and a vegetable. There's like you can't go wrong with eating more fruits and vegetables. The more color on your plate, the happier your body is going to be overall, and the more diverse your gut microbiome will be. And the importance of gut microbiome is like so vast. There's a lot of reasons why poor gut health, like it can cause skin issues, it can cause brain fog, it can cause libido issues, it can cause gut or body composition issues. If you are wanting to lose fat and you just can't get it off, it can wake you up in the middle of the night. And so the more diverse we're able to feed the gut, the healthier and happier it's going to be with these whole food sources. So don't be afraid to consume a ton of fruits and veggies as well. So if we have 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal plus one snack, we're getting close to 100 to 120 grams of protein a day, which is going to elevate you so significantly, probably from where you are, unless you're somebody who's been paying attention to it. But usually what I see is somewhere in the realm of 75 to 90 grams. Once we shift that up, it's amazing how much of a difference it makes. And protein is usually like the longest cooking. It can be the most tedious. And so if we just get ourselves into a groove, even if you don't do any other part of this and you just pre-cook your proteins for the week, you will be so happy you did that. You will absolutely love the outcome. It sounds so simple, but when you have it ready to go and all you got to do is run home, like if you have ground turkey prepared and you want to make the kids spaghetti, you don't have to go through the cooking process of meat. You just got to get noodles into, and you can also pre-cook noodles, by the way. You can get those ready to go in less than 10 minutes without having to cook the meat. Just get the sauce. So you hide some veggies maybe in the sauce, extra veggies, the kids will never know, and your meat is already cooked. You're solid, you're good to go there. It opens up the door to a lot of opportunities for health improvement, ease during the week, body composition change, metabolic change, hormonal change, all of the things that we want, but it's really, really hard to accomplish. And no, you don't have to track everything. Just get an idea of what 20 to 30 grams of protein looks like, so that you can copy that over and over and over again. Like today, my yogurt was in a cup, or like it was already in a pre-packaged cup. So that's easy to determine that I got 20 grams of protein for that and a little bit from the chia seed. So I'm probably closer to 25 for the day. It can be an estimate, especially if the goal is just health improvement, maybe some navigation, maybe some slight body composition change, but you don't have a very specific hard goal in mind. If you do, then we got to get a little bit more precise with it. And that is another conversation for another day. But if you start to build these plates with a primarily whole food, single ingredient whole food, keep it simple, prep ahead of time. This is the start to all of the health change that most ladies come to me and want to see. Is this foundation. This is going to drive the needle so much further than paying attention to only calories or trying to kill yourself in the gym. Yes, we want to work out, we want to be active, we want to go on walks, but this whole food, high protein, high fiber intake is what is going to be the game changer for you and how you feel, how you look, how your body responds, how your kid's body responds. And if they start learning it now, this is something I wish I would have learned when I was a kid, or at least in my teen years, because I wouldn't have struggled so much in my late teens and 20s with food relationship issues, overconsumption, not understanding what I needed to be eating. It can be simple, it can be highly effective, and you absolutely can do it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I have crock pot cookbooks, I have high protein cookbooks, I have grocery lists. I can help you figure out how to do this on your own without overwhelm, just support of your family and getting everybody healthy and happy. Let me know what questions you have, and I will see you back here next week.
Struggling to feel your best? When energy is low and nothing seems to work, it's time for a new approach. Here's someone who guides real people to real, lasting wellness. Meet Erin McDonald, certified master health coach, nutrition coach, and NASM personal trainer. Helping you create simple, lasting routines that support a healthier, more energized you. Feel better, move better, live better. Because health isn't just a goal, it's a lifestyle you deserve. Take the first step toward feeling your best. Your future self will thank you. Connect with Erin today.